How's it going, everybody? Arne Huschenbeth here, and we're playing some MOM Standard. Today we're trying out some new cards in an already established archetype, a deck that has become popular in the later stages of the previous Standard format. Right in front of me I have the list of Tommy Ashton, who made the top 8 in the US Regional Championship, which was the biggest and therefore, the biggest data chunk, the biggest tournament we had in Standard recently. So I took his list. I made some hefty changes, but the baseline is still his list. So we're including 3 new cards here in the main deck that I'm not necessarily convinced they're gonna be great. I don't know how good they are. This is just, we're trying things out. We're seeing how they perform. And in the end of the video, I will evaluate all 3 of these and tell you what I think going forward. So let's start with Invasion of Tarkir. If you've seen the Jeskai Dragons video, of course this card becomes better. If you've seen that, you already know. But it becomes better the more dragons you have. But I think it is just fine even without any dragons. Or at least that's what we're gonna try to prove today. We'll see if I'm right on my assumption. But yeah, it's on the front side. It is a 2-mana deal 2. Sorcery speed, not great, of course. But then later on, you get that dragon out of the deal. It reminds me a little bit of Bonecrusher Giant, and I want to see if it's just as good. To be fair, I don't think it's just as good. Bonecrusher Giant is on a different level because it's also an instant, and it's an immediately playable card on turn 3 as a 4/3, so that makes it really excellent at hitting your curve and stuff. But nonetheless, this card could be good. So, then also Invasion of Innistrad, another mythic, They tell you a little bit by putting this thing up to mythic that I think they want this to be standard playable. So it's a 4-mana flash card. It's basically a removal spell for anything. -13, -13, kills any creature, right? And then you get, on the backside, you get 2 zombies and an enchantment that is Graveyard Hate, while also being, a pretty good grind engine. You just create more and more zombies in the late stage of a game. This obviously gets out of hand and messes with various annoying cards that come back from the graveyard, like Razorlash Transmogrant, for example, or Dennick. Although you gotta be careful because Dennick also shuts off that ability if it's in play. Yeah, that is the 2 invasions that I want to try here in black-red midrange. I think invasions aren't great in control decks, right? They're pretty bad there because you can't flip them. I'm not quite sure how good they are in very aggressive decks, because in very aggressive decks you just want to go face and kill your opponent. I think invasions are kind of perfect for those in the middle decks, those mid-range decks that win by accruing value, not necessarily by damage. They can also win by damage, of course, because they're just playing good creatures that beat down. But they just want to win incrementally by adding more value. So I think this is like a good home for battles, is what I'm envisioning. A deck with Bloodtithes and Trespassers, so you can deal some damage, you can attack, and it doesn't want to deal damage to the face necessarily, it just wants to take over the game. And then last but not least, we have 3 copies of Sheoldred. I think this card is incredibly good. When it enters the battlefield, each opponent sacrifices a non-token, very important, non-token creature or planeswalker, so not a vetting announcement token. It has to be a real creature. Of course, this could also mean if the opponent doesn't have any permanent that they can sack, then they don't have to sack anything. So if they just have a bunch of tokens on the board, for example. But I'm sure Standard is very creature heavy these days. I'm sure you will have a thing that they have to sacrifice. So, and that on a 4/5 menace body is pretty decent. And then, the 5-mana extra ability of flipping it into true scriptures. Of course, we shouldn't take that too seriously, but hey, games will go long. We will kill a lot of their opposing stuff, so we'll fill up their graveyard, and then we might even be able to flip this thing. Interestingly enough, a little bit of an anti-synergy with the Trespasser. So, of course, you want to exile creatures with Trespasser to gain life and drain them. But, for example, if you attack with Trespasser in this deck, and you could exile like 2 cards from their graveyard that aren't relevant to their game plan just because you don't want to do that. You really don't want to do that because you want to keep that Sheoldred in mind and have that ability at the ready if it comes up, and yeah, pretty simple. And then 2 copies of Grixis Command. I think this card adds in value because it's very good against all the white decks, against the creature decks, against mono white that usually can deal with their pesky tokens and then kill a bigger angel. And then against Esper Legends, it kills Skrelv, goes around that. The Sacrifice also goes around Skrelv and Plaza of Heroes for that matter. So really nice against Esper Legends. And with having more creatures in our deck with Sheoldred and, 4 Sheoldred, yeah, we haven't talked about this one, but, 4 Sheoldred is a lock, right? 7 in total, we have a high volume of very good creatures we can return with the ability. And of course, we also have 2 big bodies where we can put our 1+1 counts on. So I think overall that makes sense to, incorporate Grixis command. No Invoke Despair? Yes. No Invoke Despair, but two Invoke Despair. The sideboard down here. I also think Invoke Despair got hit with this new set because Search of Salvation, very strong against Invoke Despair. For 1 mana, it counters it. That is a huge blowout. So gotta be aware of that. I'm not saying that Invoke Despair is now unplayable. We have to see how many decks will end up playing Search of Salvation. But yeah, I think a lot of decks will. So yeah, sideboard for the rest. This is pretty much close to what Tommy Ashton played. Razorlash and Bankbuster on the board with 1 cut down. Of course, one of the best cheap removals. We're playing 1 Lithomantic Barrage. I think it's less necessary in black as it would be in red decks that don't have black as their secondary color, because black is already really good at destroying creatures, right? We have Go for the Throat as a 2-mana answer to almost anything. And Barrage more comes in for decks that have a bit of a trouble dealing with Raffine or the higher toughness white creatures, or blue for that matter, although there are not many blue creatures you have to kill these days. Obliterating, although, I mean, I guess there's Tolarian Terror, which it does just kill for 1 mana and Hortigen, so yeah, maybe that deck, that deck is pretty unpopular these days. I haven't seen it much, but, occasionally you run into it. I did run into it in Naples twice, actually, so, I mean, that... Anyhow, Obliterating Bolt, just a relic of the past, exiles the annoying creatures. And Glistening Deluge here in the sideboard, we're trying that one. I'm not sure if it's better than Malicious Malfunction or Brotherhood's End as the sweeper choice. Tommy Ashton actually played Vampire's Vengeance. I'll just show you that card real quick. Pretty neat one. Vampire's Vengeance, an instant that deals 2 damage to each non-vampire token creature. So it works with Bloodtithe Harvester. It doesn't kill that, it goes around that. So that's kind of neat, but it does still kill the Fable. And it is instant, which is a big upside, of course. Glistening Deluge, most of the decks that run small creatures these days are white. So I think this could come in handy against those, and it also doesn't kill your own stuff. So that's a big upside for a sweeper. When you're playing a creature deck, you commit to the board, you have a sweeper that doesn't kill your own stuff. It makes it more appealing as a sideboard card than something like Brotherhood's End, I believe, in a deck like this. Because hey, I'll just commit, and then I'll play this thing, boom, wipe all your tokens and your creatures away, and I still can attack your Planeswalker after that. Sure, my creatures get shrunk by 1. -1/-1, but I mean, they still have some power left. 2/1, 2/2, 1/1, and then maybe you can crew a Bankbuster afterwards. Alright, and then last but not least, Soul Transfer, just another exiling spell against Out of Dawn Sky and whatever you want to exile. And of course, a couple Invoke Despair just in here in the sideboard. I mean, the card is still very strong, especially in Black Mirror matches, in the Grixis matchup, in the Mirror match. It's one of the better cards. So I don't know. I just, I want to try new cards. That's why the Sheoldreds are in here. I might be correct to just play Invoke as we used to in the main deck. All right, that's red-black midrange. Let's have some games. Let's get at it. We're on the play. Sweet. Yeah, looks decent. And we already have a new card in hand. All right, let's go. I mean, just a disclaimer right away. If you're going into this new previous season, not previous season, sorry, post-release, first week of Standard. Standard is very powerful these days and has a lot of strong cards that have been in the format for a while and that have been dominant in the format for a while for good reason. So don't expect big changes to happen. I think I mean, there might be some unexpected brew that could really, become tier 1, of course, but I think from what we've seen, there won't be much novelty. There won't be much in terms of like, hey, this is gonna be really crazy good and change things and da-da-da-da. The stuff that I did in the early access, Hidetsugu combo, Ojutai, and what else? Oh yeah, the Incubator Tezzeret deck. I think those could be potentially like tier 1, tier 2. I mean, tier 1 is tier 2, let's say. But of course, no guarantees really. Okay, so this thing can't block. They might have a Thundering Raichu, they might also have the new Raptor. Sorry about that. I have the option to attack or not to attack. You know, I'm playing against mono red. I will not attack, you know. Although sometimes it is correct to do so, I think, in this spot. You know, you gotta know the turn where you turn around. But here it's 16 life. Like, I'm under no rush, really. And I surely have the better late game than my opponent. So there's no reason for me to attack there. Okay, there's the Raichu. I was wondering if people play Raptor over Raichu. I'm surely going to try Mono Red as well, of course. There's some interesting new additions to Mono Red. I could Crew the Bankbuster and just block. I think if they don't have double shock, they can't really punish that block. So they have to use like 2 removal spells. Or maybe they have an Abrade. I mean, if you have an Abrade, sure. But then... So now you have Lightning Strike and you're going to lose 2 things to my Bankbuster. I think that's alright. I mean, I could have Play with Fire. That would be annoying, I guess. But also alright, you know. Okay, that's fine. That losing Bankbuster isn't great here, but you know, I would rather have that card, of course. But you know, like look at this, look at this. Oh god, Sheoldred, you disgusting piece of magic cardboard. And yeah, turning things around. Boom, exile that. Yeah, I mean, this matchup has to be incredible for Rakdos. Rakdos is sort of a pre-boarded Grixis deck in this matchup. That's how it feels. Yeah. It's just playing Trespasser as one of the better cards against Mono Red, and then all these... You know, we're not even playing Invoke Despair in this list, so Invoke is a bit awkward against Red. Well, we have 5 drops that are absolutely amazing. We're going to cut down, and I guess the Bolt, and that's it. Suppose this is a matchup where Brotherhood's End would be better, of course. It would be a card I would bring in. But then on the other hand, this matchup is already phenomenal, so you probably don't need the Brotherhood's End. Okay, so we have the Invasion of Tarkir. I like that. It kills most of this stuff. Invasion of Innistrad is a bit clunky. And Bankbuster. I think those are my 2 worst cards. The rest looks excellent. Yeah, I mean, do I wanna? I mean, this is really a stabilizing thing, right? You know what? We're playing the new cards. Let's kick out the Bankbuster. Sorry, you got to sit on the bench for a little bit, Bankbuster. We want to see new cards in action, and yeah. Yeah, honestly, I have not the highest hopes for Invasion of Innistrad. Removal has to be efficient, really. It has to be in these days with Ward running around, Talia running around, especially Talia is just like, ugh. Huh. I mean, I can do it, right? Let's bluff the cut down a little bit. You know, make them think twice, maybe. Right, or not. Okay, Feldon is the one creature that I don't want to deal 2 damage to, because then they get a 2-for-1 out of it. Oof. So we're gonna destroy the Sword Spear. I think. Yeah. I think damage isn't that important, because I have multiple sources of life gain here. Ooh. This card is not that good against me, though. On the play, it's fine, I guess. Alright, we're down to 10, going to 8. Maybe I shouldn't have capped. I mean, I'm on the draw. Go to 6 here. Okay. Alright. I think I played Trespasser. I think playing Fable is too risky. Trespasser is a really nice blocker against these 2. I would have to spend 2 cards here to get rid of it. Okay, I go to 5. Ah, probably dead here. I mean, missing one turn on the draw was not good. And the Furnace Punisher was nice. Yeah. So I go to 1, and at that point I think I have no ways of coming back. Alright, GG. GG. Oh, okay, well. Happens. Yeah, let's run it back. Perfect. Sulfurous Springs. Wouldn't like to have a different black red duel, of course, than that one in this matchup. Can't have it all. It's okay. No, this matchup has to be like 80-20. Let's be real here. Like these two cards are both incredible here. I just did the play with fire check, and it looks like they don't have it. Drawing that on turn 2. Oh, Fable. I think I'm just jamming here. Who's the beatdown now? Like seriously, I'm at 17. This is not a game that red is can race me well. Already 5 power. Okay, sure. Yeah, you got me. Interesting. Think I want to ditch the Harvester maybe. Okay. Now we can bolt this. Attack for 5, play Trespasser. Seems pretty good. Good old Fable surviving, making an extra mana, casting 5 mana worth of value on turn 4. Yeah, I mean, this is simple magic, recipe for success, you know. Just take 6, don't care. And now my opponent is dead to Sheoldred in the upkeep. If they don't have an instant speed way of killing a Sheoldred. If they do have an instant speed way of... Oh, I miscounted. Oops. Okay, I miscounted. Well, in that case, I'm just going to pass the turn. And with double go for the throat up, I think it's going to be difficult to kill me from this point. They need some magical card here. I like the cleanliness of this red-black deck. Really, Grixis is more powerful, of course. Having an extra color makes your deck usually more powerful. The red-black, clearly the advantage lies in its strength and consistency and better mana base against these aggro decks, right? That's where it shines, I believe. All right, nice 7. Blackcleave Cliffs. That's the duel I'm talking about. Are we facing a mirror match here? No, it's Grixis. Alright. Cut down the Harvester. Look at that efficient play. Sweet. And a Fable. Awesome. Yeah, alright. Well, I'm gonna be the one putting a Fable on the board while my opponent's tapped out with no board, so they're a little bit on the back foot, which is nice. And we're on the draw, so yeah, I mean, this is how you efficiently counter the 2-3 punch when you're on the draw. You know, some might say that cut down isn't even a good card in a mirror match and you want to keep it. I think on the play, you definitely don't want to have it in the mirror matches. And I'm calling this mirror match. It's essentially a mirror match, right? Grixis is very close to Rakdos, play a couple cards different. But yeah, I think on the play, you definitely don't want cut down because it just doesn't hit everything. You want to have cards that hit everything. But on the draw, I could see some cut downs depending on your list. Because, yeah, really for these type of turns. I think in Grixis itself, cut down is less important because you have negate and make disappear for Fable. And then at that point, the cut downs in Grixis will only hit like Harvester. And that just isn't that great. So here, because I have one more extra land, I'm going to be a little greedy and ditch 2 lands. This is a very resource-heavy matchup, of course. All right, that one's down. Playing Trespasser leaves me a bit open to an Invoke Despair. But, I mean, playing Harvester does the same. So there's that. I think I'll just go with the Trespasser though. It also exiles the Harvester, which, you know, if they have Corpse Appraiser, could be good. Looks like they have Make Disappear. Alright. Yeah. Okay, no Invoke. Them playing the land shows that they're interested in, yeah, I probably have Invoke Despair in their hand, I would guess. Yeah, Sheoldred looks nice here, doesn't she? We would have had a 5th land, just kill the Kiki, clean 2 for 1. Of course, Fable is already a 2 for 1, so. Alright. So I assume they have Invoke. But I can just sack the Kiki. Yeah. As my creature, and then I don't have to sack the Sheoldred, so everyone takes 4 damage here. We both take 4. Fair trade. And now if I draw lands, alright, this is pretty good. I take that. You know, I'll take that. And I guess now we have that interesting situation. I mean, missing out on 4 damage to my opponent's face is kind of huge. But then again, this matchup is grindy after all, right? Like, I think I want to attack the invasion here. 5 is a big difference to 4, I'm not gonna lie. You really... I especially felt that in the Jeskai Dragon stack, that like, the ones with 4 loyalty or 4 defense counters is just so much easier to kill with Sorgo and Ojutai. But yeah. You really want to one hit these invasions. It's like 1 hit, boom, out of here. Yeah, my opponent would have gone to 6 already, I guess. They don't have a go for the throat, otherwise they would have probably played 1. Wow, yeah, I mean, my opponent would have almost been dead here. I would have attacked him for 4, down to, yeah, they would already be at 4. Just concede to Sheoldred. Okay, how good was Invasion? I mean, it killed a Kiki, so yeah, that was fine. But yeah, you really do want to get the game over with 2 as well. Sheoldred does that with the 2 drain. So yeah, you kind of want to attack your opponent with Sheoldred in most cases. So in this particular spot, alright, I don't know, not very convinced. Okay, so we're on the draw here. We're on the draw. I think Grixis command, a little bit of a hit or miss card. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different philosophies on how to sideboard. And I honestly I don't know what Tommy Ashton did. I don't know exactly how board. I'm sure Bankbuster comes in. I'm sure Razorlash comes in. Invoke has to come in as well. And then we can bring in Obliterating Bolt, we can bring in Soul Transfer, we can bring in Duress. But I think the more these 2 are for the Razorlash, of course. But the more interesting thing might just be like, what are we taking out? You know, what are we actually taking out here? Harvester on the draw, it's reasonable. Cut down is also reasonable. I mean, how often are they going to have this amazing draw? And we have the Invasion of Innistrad. I kind of want to try the card. I could see that it's not great, especially on a draw, because it is a bit clunky. Sheoldred has risks, of course, with her Grixis command. I mean, at some point you have too many 6-drops. I guess I'll shave one Sheoldred, but I really want to have some Duress, I think. So what I used to do is Bloodtithe Harvester, cutting that one. But I feel like this deck needs the Bloodtithe Harvester a little bit more than Grixis needs Bloodtithe. I mean, I could cut the Trespasser, maybe. It lines up poorly against Corpse Appraiser, doesn't it? And against Invoke Despair as well. Maybe that's the card you kick out. It's a bit inefficient. It's hard to kill with removal, of course, but it doesn't line up well against Harvester. It doesn't line up well against Corpse Appraiser. I'll just bring in 4 Duress. Let's go. Let's try that. I mean, Grixis does have a lot of non-creatures, and usually post-board, they even go high on them, right? So they might cut Harvester, they might cut some Sheoldreds, and then they have even more. But difficult to say what the correct sideboarding strategy here is. Really love to know what Tommy Ashton did. All right. Yeah. Man, could they make a rule in Magic that if you have a 1-lander, you just get to mulligan to 7 again? Or if you have like 6 lands, you get to mulligan to 7 again, you know? Like, because it really is the variance that just sometimes kills you, right? Like, if I mulligan a hand with 3 lands and 4 spells, that's my decision to do so. But if I literally have no lands, or have 7 lands, or have like 1 land, then it's just the RNG that got me, right? Imagine you're playing the finals of a Pro Tour, and you're just sitting there and you're mulliganing because you just don't draw lands. It's the variance that can happen, the RNG. Yeah, it would be nice to have some defense mechanism against that. Ah, man, obviously, like, I think if I'd be playing a game for money, I would put Divination back. It's just like so expensive, but let's try the card. Let's put back Harvester maybe. It's tough to say. I don't know. I mean, I think I know. I really do not think you should keep Invasion in your hand here. Maybe I should have just bottomed it. Yeah, I want to give the card a try, you know. But also with just having 2 lands. Interesting. It's a pretty bad hand, actually. Pretty bad hand. I like it. I mean, I like it for me, yeah. I was thinking at least we have 6 power worth of creatures. So Invasion might flip, you know. Make disappear? No. Sounds large. I wonder if Malicious Malfunction is actually reasonable for the mirror match. On a draw against Razorlashes. Wow, this could be a huge blowout turn. Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a huge blowout turn. Oh wow. I guess I'm really glad I kept the Invasion then. I mean, to be fair, go for the throat into Harvester would have also been a great turn. Put him to 11. But, you know, I don't mind this value. Like, if they don't have a sweeper, this is just game, probably. I mean, if they have a Sheoldred, then they can dig themselves out of this, I guess. Also interesting that they didn't go for the Throat My Bloodtithe. I mean, this really is on them. They could have, instead of cycling the Xana's launch, could have go for the Throat the Bloodtithe. And GG. Alright. Invasion of Innistrad. Yeah, cleanly killing a Sheoldred on the you kill a Sheoldred for 4 mana, right? It's a trade on even mana, and then you have that battle that flips into these zombies that, you know, accrue more value. I mean, that is good. on face value, I want to be the person having Innistrad in hand, not the person with Sheoldred, if I clash the two against each other, right? Mr. Pretzel. Yes, I'd like to keep this hand. Blackcleave Cliffs, let's go. It really is very similar to Invoke Despair in a way. Just instead of Invoke Despair, instead of drawing more cards or destroying planeswalkers, or I mean, it's weird. You can't really compare that. But you get a 4/5 mana onto the board, and you still get that effect of killing the creature, which is pretty important. Kenra Spell Spear. Yeah, I don't know. I like this card. I'm not sure if it's better than Invoke. I think it is. It depends a little bit, but it's goddamn powerful. Menace is also not an ability to be underestimated. This forces them to have Lightning Strike. Or this forces them to play their spell, right? Like it doesn't matter. Like this way, but I did this way. I don't give them a decision. I think their attack is either a bluff. Just keep everything right. Yeah, no, I like this, and I'm not gonna play Fable here. I'm gonna keep up my Go for the Throat for an important creature, which they didn't provide me with, but it's okay. We'll kill the Swift Spear, and then they have to sack the chick, and with 13 life, yeah. No, if I run into monored all day long with this Rakdos deck, I mean, I wouldn't mind. I really wouldn't mind. Kenra Spell Spear. Alright, you got yourself a free. Opponent already has 5 cards in hand, so we're not that far away from flipping this. I guess I will play that, and then I'll play Banky Bow hands. You know, I have 1 card in hand, I will just pass. This card is kind of scary. I mean, if they have 2 spells here, and this is a 7/7, this is a crazy good creature. Trample, not that bad either. I mean, I will just double block. I mean, I might get blown out badly here by an Abrade. They have 2 spells, it just becomes a 7/7. Oof. Oh, alright. Maybe I should have just blocked the Bankbuster. Well, that was a huge blowout. I mean, not gonna lie, that was good. Submit 0. Play Trespasser. Exile the chick. And I think at this point, I'll just race them, you know? They go to 13, I'm at 14. I have the lifelink and play. They only have 1 card in hand. I get another Kiki here. This is my 3rd Fable. Yeah. I'm at 14. Come on, okay. Alright. I go to 13, I have a 5/5. Oh, damn. Okay, so I go to 9? Yikes. Ay. 4, 6, 9. So let me make a count here. So I can copy the Trespasser, and it triggers once, then attack, 3 more life, they're at 10, so I have exactly lethal. I like me exactly lethal, not gonna lie. Well, that is even more than lethal. Yeah, I already have lethal on board, right? It's 10 plus, I mean, this makes it super lethal. But yeah, whatever, just... No, actually, wait a minute. 5, 9, 10. Wait. So 5, 6, 10. Did I miscount? So I copy Trespasser. I get 1 trigger down to 12 and attack twice. Yeah, no. The Grixis command actually isn't lethal. The Trespasser is lethal. The copy. No, I miscounted. I didn't count the 2 damage here, so I would have had 5, 9, 11, 12. 5, 6, 10, 12. Wouldn't have been lethal. Gix command wouldn't have been lethal. This is lethal though. Kenra and Sheoldred. Yeah. Yep. Know when you can turn the corner. My opponent had good stuff here in the end. Even like down to the last card. Multiple spells. Stoke the Flames. Gotta be aware of that. Alright, so same thing. Cut the Banky Boy. Add Bolt. Cut down. Super spicy would be adding Lithomantic Barrage. Which does kill this on the backside. And it does go around ward as well. It also kills the Phoenix trick, I guess. But that's about it. So, yeah. I mean, if you're desperate, you can play the card. But we're not desperate. So we're not going to. But yeah, you can feel that not having that Brotherhood's End in the sideboard means we have to play this Invasion of Innistrad, which is a bit of a clunker in this matchup. So, you know, technically speaking, it would be nice to have 2 more sideboard cards for the mono-red matchup, so we could just cut those Bankies, cut those Invasions, and be good to go. But honestly, I really think that 1-mana removal is where it's at, especially in this Rakdos deck, because you really want to go 1, 2, 3. And not like Grixis, you often have an untapped land on turn 1, so you are able to do so. And I think it's better than having more 3-mana cards in your deck, really, because 1, 2, 3 is better than having like 2, 3, 3, you know? Like having, I don't know, a Flameless Bolt, I guess. Felden. Pretty good, pretty good. Can't really play around Furnace Punisher here. Okay, they don't have it. So I'll kill the Felden. Go to 13. Yeah, I mean, the red deck feels like a real deck whenever it has Kumano on turn 1. That card is very, very strong. Probably just the best card in the deck, still. Alright. Now you get the... Ooh, okay. Ward to the face. And then attack me. Don't even care about the battle. Alright. Obliterating Bolt. 1 card in hand. Probably just want to discard Fable. Kinda want to find another play here. Perfect. But I didn't want to discard a land because I really want to go sorry, not Chandra. Sheoldred next turn. Alright, so 6 life. Just, you know, I don't know, play a Swift Spear. Alright, Felden, go to 4. That's fine, that's fine. That's actually pretty good for me. Just need some life gain now. And yeah, I mean, we're far away from flipping Sheoldred. They need 4 more cards. But we can flip this Invasion. Players can't gain life. Alright, so there's that. Oh well, that was a very good draw. Cindermore, I mean, not the best card ever against Rakdos. So now we are also Furnace Punisher proof. Should have actually played that land. Did I just draw it? I think I just drew this. No, I drew this. So I made a mistake there. Yep, I made a mistake. I should have played the Swamp last turn to play around Furnace Punisher. Not the Haunted Ridge. It's unintuitive, of course, but yeah. Probably just cycle this Takenuma. I don't have a creature in my grave. Alright. Oh, hey. Hi. Hello. So I could make 2 dragons here, right? Let's just do that. Let's just do that. Boom. Destroy this. Cast it. Come on, let me have my fun. Attack. 5 here. 4 to you. Alright, and then we get another dragon. The next turn we can copy a dragon with the reflection. Then whenever a dragon attacks, we deal 6 damage. Alright. overkill. I mean, this is how it feels with the battles, right? Like, it really feels overkill when you win with them. It's like kill a thing and then boom. Just like 2 for 1s. But yeah, you miss out on damage to the face. So. I don't know. That looked good. That looked good. Okay. Just a Mirrex. That's not good enough. On the play. I think I'm again. Alright, 1 each back, I guess. I feel like you can really feel the mulligans with this deck. Just didn't want a mulligan. There's not that much. I mean, if you have Bankbuster, I guess you have an advantage to regain. Alright, go for the throat. Not a good card against Skrelv. It's like if they play a good creature here, they're just gonna keep the Skrelv back and I can't do shit. Maybe they play Rafine. And maybe they want to attack with Skrelv. Maybe they're just ballsy. Who knows? Who knows? I mean, killing that doesn't even seem that enticing. Yeah, Sheoldred goes around Skrelv at least. Go for the throat in the bin. I mean, I do like that. With my hand here, I go for the throat. It's the last card I want to see. But probably have a second go for the throat, huh? Yeah, I would assume so. No, taking the damage. Oof. What is your hand? Did you just gotta go for the throat there? Playing against the black deck. Yeah, okay. Well, it's a standoff. And I can't kill yours. I can attack. See if they want to trade. I think that's a good idea. I mean, face value, this just seems like a lot safer than Invoke Despair. I don't know, the format kind of revolved around people playing decks that are good against Invoke Despair. And this is just, you know, it kills a thing, so it really impacts the board. That's what I like about this card. It impacts the board heavily. Invoke Despair doesn't. Invoke Despair is just like, sometimes you look at a creature opponent and you're like, okay, you sack 1 small guy, I draw 2 cards. Great, you lose 4 life, but like, I'm on the back foot. And Sheoldred really is catches you back up, which I like. I like that a lot. Yeah, I mean, we really feel the mulligan to 5 here. We feel the Skrelv just being amazing, shutting off our go for the throat for 1 mana, protecting all the opposing creatures. But I guess we do have Harvester now, so there's that. Maybe we can make a comeback. We can Harvest the Skrelv and see from there. Toulouse obviously pretty good here too, though. Gonna be tough to outvalue that card. But hey, as long as we have Sheoldred advantage, you know, who cares about the Toulouse? Opponent might have something like an Otavara. Alright, I'm just gonna go ham. Okay, it looks like they don't have something like that. Oh, they might have a Gandro, I guess. They're gonna block Toulouse and then I Gandro. That actually is pretty good, huh? I also get to go for the throat back. So they have removal for my next thread. It's pretty dope, pretty good. So, they could have done this first. I mean, why didn't they, right? Then they would have gotten a Gandra back to hand as well because it is discarded. Interesting choice. Don't like how my opponent played that. think I would have done it first. Sure, then I can kill the shit. Then I can kill like Toulouse in response to that. But you know, like you get a go for the throat in the hand, so do you care? And then I use a go for the throat of one of my instant speed removal on Toulouse, so it doesn't use it on your premium other creatures. I think my opponent messed up there. Toulouse very good with channel lands. Yeah, right. We feel the mulligan here. Not having an answer here is just probably lights out. I think I'm gonna discard this Fable. It's just not impactful enough right now. Invasion of Innistrad. Never go for the throat in the hand. So the only real play I have here is kill the Adeline. And then I have to draw Grixis command off the top. That's my out here. Alright, now I don't have outs anymore. Alright, I'm done. Got smushed. I mean, we mulligan to 5. Toulouse looked pretty good there. Happens. Magic things. Okay, cutting the invasion. And cutting Bankbuster. Adding cut down, adding Lithomantic, adding Obliterating Bolt. Could play the Deluge. It does kill Danik, Talia, Skrelf. And Toulouse. Could add Soul Transfer. Not a particularly good card against Skrelf. The Invasion of Tarkir, I think it's good enough. I'm gonna keep it. One more slot to give. I could also keep a Bankbuster, have some card advantage. You know, that's something that this deck doesn't necessarily have. I mean, the card advantage comes in these and then with Fable, but like otherwise, I mean, I guess this is also a little bit of card advantage. Yeah, I think on the play, Bankbuster is okay. It's not that bad. You can combine it with a lot of cheap removal, which this deck has. You can get by. Awkward. This hand is very, very good though in terms of what it does, right? Like, it is so awkward to have cut down as your only remove. Like, one untapped land, man. And this hand would be excellent, I feel like. Or just 2 Blackcleave Cliffs. But I think I can mulligan this and like, it is really awkward, but yeah, okay, perfect. That was important. Now I like this hand a lot more. I don't know. This hand is awkward as hell, but can you mulligan a hand like that? I don't think so. It's too good. Rona, new card. So just curve out, I guess. Just curve out with Trespasser, attack for free. I think that's better than doing removal shenanigans. Although, is it? The thing is, my Lithomantic is a sorcery. I think I'm gonna play a Trespasser. Also, the Rona walks into the Grixis command, theoretically. Costs like a lot of mana, 5 mana at the least, to make this a 5/5. So the destroy power creature with 2 or less. We'll get rid of that thing eventually. I get some card filtering, which this could go for the throat again. Play Italia. One up. It doesn't seem like an Aganjo. So here I could just double kill these, attack for 7. Don't have an answer for Sheoldred though. I could also minus on Natalia, attack for free, play Trespasser. But then I also don't have an answer for a Sheoldred. Yeah, I think I will, I think I will play it chill, don't rush things. Just keep my removal to my hand for now. Let him have the Rona a little bit, I think it's fine. Card advantage is card selection, which is not to be underestimated. I really hope they don't have Sheoldred here. But from their perspective, playing Sheoldred is risky. Because if I do have a go for the throat, they lose out on tempo. And I haven't used any yet. Yeah, just not being able to kill Sheoldred in this specific matchup is not great. Maybe this is not even a card that red-black wants at all. Maybe, I don't know, just... Double 2-drop here. A Ganjo from hand played. Okay. Don't think this is a card for Esper. I think it's a card for soldiers maybe, or like Toxic. Or even a green-white counter stack, which I think there's enough cards for that now. But yeah, I don't think that card is particularly good in Esper. Trying to go for the throat makes me really happy. Because now they might be slamming a Sheoldred, but just gonna get punished real bad. But I just go for the throat. What happened this game? They played a Rona, Italia, and a Denic, and this Gobakan card. Really not that impressive. Also, this Gobakan card, I don't think it's particularly good in this matchup. Like, I could see bringing it in against control decks or decks with like lots of high-end cards. But against Rakdos, I mean... Sure, you shut off my Grixis command, I guess, proactively. But you still spend 2 mana. Maybe, like Disdainful Stroke might just be better. Alright, punch is done. That was pretty smooth and simple. Huh. Rona does not die to Glistening Deluge. But all of these do. I'll try one copy. Let's see, let's see. Could also be better than Invasion of Tarkir the more I think about it, because Invasion of Tarkir... Yeah, 2 mana kill Skrelv. 3 mana kill Talia. Yeah, the more I think about it, the more I don't like it in this matchup. Yeah, I should have bought it out at the invasion probably here, because at least on the play you can kill a Skrelv, like don't extra pay, you just kill the Skrelv. But on the draw, if they have Talia, it costs you 3. Yeah, I don't know. I'll try this. There's the Skrelv. No. No, my go for the France! Invasion of Gobakan. Probably taking the Fable here. Maybe I'm getting around on this card. I mean, the secondary ability is quite amazing in that deck, right? The secondary ability of being able to protect is really, really nice. What a curve. Pretty nice. And I'm sitting here not being able to cast my spells due to Skrelv. Oh, Skrelv. Secretly the best card in the deck. Really, really. I think it is. I mean, it might secretly be the best. Like, the Esper Legends deck is just outrageously good in power level. It is so incredible. Yeah. Look at me. It's just a non-game due to Skrelv. That's so sad. Now the thing is gonna flip, so they're gonna get a 2-for-1 there. And the Toulouse is also gonna provide more value. I don't know how I'm gonna be winning this. Alright, I mean, I guess I can block at least. Man, that Skrelv is just my biggest nightmare. My biggest nightmare. Arena is crashing. Okay, my Trespasser died and they discarded the Skrelv. Okay, I mean, 2 cards in hand. Well, this grows. I guess now I can hope they don't have an answer to the Sheoldred. But I have a sinking feeling that they do. No? Alright. Well, if they don't kill Sheoldred, Sheoldred is gonna kill them. Rona not that good in the face of a Sheoldred. Now I can just wipe away their board. They get Toulouse and Skrelv to hand. 2 cards in hand. Or I could... What else? No, this seems best. Destroy and sack. I guess I could have played a Fable first. It's a pretty good tempo swing for me. And it goes around the light shield, which I have to be aware of. They can just for free sack this, give hexproof indestructible. Sheoldred doing Sheoldred things. Opponent missing land drops. Talia, okay. And Skrelv, go to 10. Nah, you would jump already. Okay. Alright. I don't think I'll play any of my lands. I want to discard them. Yeah, this works. This works because I go for the throat, they sack this, I go for the throat, they Skrelv. Yep. I like you. I like you a lot. Just got these lands. More lands. One has 5 in the graveyard. Yeah. Trigger. So if I attack first, they block. I pass priority, what's gonna happen? They're gonna sack this, then I go for the throat, they're gonna protect, I go for the throat. So I trade 2 for 2. And I keep my Sheoldred. Am I down for a trade is the question. Or do I just want things to be the same? Play my big Sheoldred. What if they have another Sheoldred after that? That'd be good, huh? What if they kill my Sheoldred? Well, I have Go for the Throat twice now. It's interesting. Am I supposed to attack here? Let him trade, kill the Skrelv, 6 power in play, they play Sheoldred, I kill. Seems fine to attack. Honestly. Although, I don't know. Maybe not, honestly. Maybe I think I want to have the 4/5 out, actually. Like, if they block, which I think they should, then and then they crack the array, I have to use my my Go for the Throats. And in that case, I wouldn't have the 4/5 in play. But they're just gonna not use the array though, because if they use the array, I'm gonna blow them out in a way, right? I'm gonna Go for the Throat to trade with array and Sheoldred. So they can't use the array, so it would just be trading Sheoldreds. And at that point, I don't know. Maybe I'm better off with the Sheoldred in play though, because I don't have an additional one, you know? Like, they might have a second copy in hand. So it's better to just have the stalemate. Cut down. And they concede. Alright. Sweet! Rakdos! Nice! Diamond tier 1, getting me up to Mythic real quick. That was Red Black midrange. 3 new cards tried. Seen Invasion once. It was really, really good. But it does seem a little bit like a card that is... Honestly, yeah. With these battles, that's where it's at. They are better when you are ahead. Because when you're behind, when you're not on board, then they're just clunky cards, right? They're inefficient. They're 2 mana, sorcery speed, 2 damage. That's not good. That's terrible. Invasion of Innistrad, 4 mana kill spell, not good for constructed, even at instant speed. When you're ahead, they're really snowball of control because you already have board control, boom, 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 and you're gonna snowball out of control. So, but that being said, cards that are good when you're ahead and not great when you're behind, those are usually not cards we want in constructed, unfortunately. So, yeah, I think in a specific meta game where there's a lot of mid-range decks and efficiency of a card isn't as important, I could see this being fine to play some of these. But in a meta game where there's like these hyper-aggressive decks, where there's Talia decks, with Skrelv, Rafine, and so on, Esper Legends dominating, you gotta be good when you're behind. You gotta have a lot of cards in your deck that are good when behind, because you're gonna be put on the back foot, especially when you're on the draw. And you know, as the saying goes as well, if you're already ahead on board, you're already doing fine. So you don't need a card that even puts you, you know, like in a better position. What you want in Magic cards is cards that are good on the draw, that catch you back up. Because when you've won the die roll and you have a good start already, you usually don't need more help. So, not a big fan of the battles. But Sheoldred, big fan of. This might just be better than Invoke Despair. And I'm really evaluating this card based on ignoring the 5 mana ability on it, because that is a little difficult to come up. And I think even without that ability, this card would actually be really good. It's a big creature that has a meaningful into the battlefield ability, reminiscent of something like Ravenous Chupacabra. It's not quite destroy target creature, it is worse. But funnily enough, sometimes it's even better, because, you know, like against in the last situation, this sacrifice ability went around the array, right? It went around, it doesn't go around Plaza of Heroes, it goes around Tiver's Stand, it goes around, you know, the new 2 mana white thingy that they played, Gobakan, Invasion of Gobakan, I believe. Yeah, so really, really good card. I'm happy to have tried it and seen it in action here. And yeah, Rakdos midrange, I think overall, you know, top 8 at the RC. Really nice mid-range deck that is just favored against the various creature decks in the format. And of course, it loses points in other matchups. I think in the face-off against Grixis, you know, it's better to have Corpse Appraiser and just Corpse Appraiser is just an egregious card in a mid-range fight. And yeah, I guess against like mono white mid-range, domain control-y decks, you probably rather be Grixis, because having counter spells is really important in those matchups. But hey, it is, in the end, it's a trade-off. And if you expect a lot of creature decks, like Esper Legends and the others, this deck is really good, I think. So, meh on the invasions, both of them. Not a big fan. Big fan of Sheoldred. Alright guys, thank you for watching, as always, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye-bye.